Jennifer Nelson here, host of the Pocket Hours podcast. Here at Pocket Hours, I get to interview fabulous individuals in our industry to help educate us all and to up our game. We get to hear from them, their secret sauce, how they are successful to hopefully help inspire us to do better work. The cool part is, as you listen to these interviews, you can also get clock hours on the go. So you listen to a podcast and then you email us at info@scoutrealestate.com to learn more about obtaining those hours. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in, and let's have some fun learning how to be better at what we do. Hi, folks. Jennifer Nelson here with Pocket Hours, and 'tis the season. We're excited today because our very own Shannon Perry, who is the producer and CEO of Audiotocracy, who is the one that makes Pocket Hours happen, gave us this idea to do a gift-giving podcast for the month of December. So here we are. We're going to do it. And the best part about today is that it's not just me talking. That's exciting already. That's your gift already, just from me. You're going to hear from all kinds of brokers here sitting around. I'm looking at them right now. If you want to see this video, and please do, go to YouTube to check it out, because this is a show and tell. So we're going to talk to you about all kinds of gifts. All right. I want to also acknowledge Deb Escher, who is here with us filming this so that you can see what we're talking about. And I'm going to start by just asking folks around the table to do an intro. So let's go here.
Of course, start with me. Great. Hi, I am Sarah Lewis. I am a real estate agent with Scout. With Scout.
Okay. And that was a strong start. So we're going to go.
Following that, I am Lorena, and I'm a newer agent at Scout.
Yay. All right.
Hi, I am Annelize, and I've been with Scout for 2 years now.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm Lalo. I've been here about 2 years as well. My favorite color is black.
Okay, we're just adding that. By the way, we put the people with lovely accents together so that we could, not have it. Okay.
Rebecca Ross, also with Scout, shocker.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been like 3 years, I think.
Wow. Look at you.
Ooh.
OG.
OG.
there.
And I'm Tyler Webster. I've been with Scout for 2 years.
Awesome. There we are. That's who's around the table. And then Shannon, who you'll get to see as well. And Deb, who's taking, go ahead, give yourself a little video. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. We're going to do 4 segments today on gift giving. So the first one we're going to talk about is closing gifts. So as a broker, I think there are a lot of brokers who are listening to this or will be listening to this who get stumped with what to do for gifts. And so they end up just doing the same things over and over again because they don't really know what to do. So we're going to talk to you and show you, if you're watching the video, some of the ideas that we've come up with to get creative about this. And I want to first say that gift giving, especially for a closing gift, is part of your marketing. It's part of your marketing. So don't let it fall through the cracks as just something to check off your list. This is a way for you as a broker to stand out and hopefully get a referral from these folks by what you give them and how thoughtful that gift is. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just start. Anybody in the room want to start with one of the closing gifts that you've given that has landed really well, that you think made a big impact on your clients?
I've got one that I think worked well for certain people, and you have to do a bit of detective work as you're going along if you don't really know the folks, but I tracked down a local restaurant that I love that had a wine club attached to it. I've done this in 2 different neighborhoods and set up a subscription for their wine clubs for these people to go to this restaurant once a month and pick up their bottles of wine. And that helps them be a part of their new community, and it definitely made them think of me every time they got drunk, which I really enjoyed.
Right, perfect.
So the one thing that I would warn about is most wine clubs won't do a 3-month subscription. And that's what I like to do. I like to give them 3 months of wine. If, like me, you forget to cut off that subscription, you can end up paying for a wine club for over a year.
Yes.
So watch out for that. But it's a really nice one. My clients really appreciated the spirit of being part of that restaurant community and the wine club.
Love it.
Yeah, that was a good one. But
that's really good.
It's for the right people. It's not for everyone.
Absolutely. And I will say, we're going to get into subscription gifts later because I think that's an awesome point to point out, because because if we can give somebody something that keeps coming, that keeps reminding them of who we are to them, that's awesome. And I love that it's about community, right? It's here's where you bought. Let's find a place that you might be frequenting and get you going on that place. Awesome. Who else? What else?
I'll go ahead. Being South African, it's a big deal that every house should have a barbecue or grill. And in South Africa, we call it a braai, just for your information. But so it's also for my own benefit. I had a good friend that bought a brand new home in West Seattle with a rooftop that had a 360-degree view. And I thought, well, this house needs a braai. But the logistic part of it was a nightmare. So I got there a day before, arrived with this big box that I somehow didn't know how was I going to get that up onto the rooftop. Luckily, the guys came in for the last little bit of the blue tape walk through, and I said to these guys, can you please just help me get this box up? And I started building, and I don't know how many of you have put together a grill. And it started getting dark, and I'm still out there on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Anyway, it ended well. I said I'm never doing that again. Until recently, I had a South African that was closing in a property in Port Orchard, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to do something similar. This is really going to, be a big hit with her. But I'm not building another barbecue. So anyway, I drove around. I ended up in Des Moines to pick up this grill that they put together for me. But now it's not fitting in my car. So we started taking it out again. Drove around, didn't go on the ferry, drove around, got to the house, put it back together again. But when she heard the face when she saw this braai, was priceless. And of course, she said, I'm not inviting anybody to this house until you are able to come for a braai.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, just wanted to let you know that Garrett just came in. Garrett, say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
He just came in a little bit late, but he's got a lot to share. I'm sure we're excited he's here. Okay, other closing gifts. I want to share about one. No, before me, Tyler. What you got?
Oh, thank you, Jen.
Yeah, you bet. I'm here for you.
We actually have some cute baskets here on the table, but when I lean into my closing gifts, I try to make sure it's not cookie cutter, but a fun way you can have a system with it is to have a very personalized closing basket, which I'll let others speak about. But some of the things one of the things I like to put in the basket is a initialed or monogrammed item that, or maybe their full name, whatever the detail, a personalized item for that client. Most recently I got these Hydro Flask can koozies. So you can take them camping.
Oh, nice.
And I know these folks, they have a collection of koozies. So let's get them a nice custom one. They each have their name on it. Just making the thought go further.
And it's super personal, right?
Yeah.
It's about them and not just here's a koozie for your collection. It has their initials on it.
Right. One time I got a doormat that had my client's name on it and then the paw prints to their 2 cats and then the names of their cats. So that was a fun welcome home.
Let's go into baskets because we have a bunch of baskets on our table right now. And so let's talk baskets. I have one that I'm giving to my client at the end of this month. And let me just tell you what a fan I am of Marshalls. Anybody else? Fan of Marshalls? Yeah. So Marshalls is lovely because you can get things that look nice but don't cost you a ton of money. So putting together a fun basket, maybe it's $200 all in, but it's fun stuff like a clock and a lamp. And I don't know what else is in there. Candy, a cutting board, a candle, a basket that they can reuse, stuff like that, hopefully as they take apart this basket. By the way, I love baskets. If you're wondering about a gift idea for me, just get me a Marshall's basket. I'm digging it. Lots of presents.
Noted.
So anyone listening, if you want to give me a gift, feel free. All right. Anyway, I think baskets are fun. Who else has a basket?
I have a basket.
Yay, Sarah.
I happen to have a closing coming up next week, so I did a little preparing, and I also love Marshalls. I also love customizing my gifts. I'm a little arts and crafts fanatic, so I learned how to make these really cool little custom labels with their name and the new address, and it's just something that sits on their table. Are you curious, Lalo? It just sits on their table and it's there for a very long time, and it's kind of just a nice little memory. Some of them I make them really fun and quirky. I've had some new single homeowners and smells like this is my own effing house. Bleep. And also Etsy is my friend. There's been some fun watercolor, you can send in a photo of the house and they make a really cool, our first home picture, and it's just a nice little memorabilia. And I've done a cutting board, which was really cool. I got their names engraved on it with the Seattle background because they were actually moving out of the country. So it was like a nice little, they obviously have not moved yet. This is coming to them soon, but just fun kind of things that are like special and specific to them.
I'd love to line up little strips of cheese in the building.
Nice. Anyway.
Yes, you would, Lalo. Only you would.
That's why we invited Lalo to be on the show. Okay.
Yep.
I want to go back just to these sketches for a minute. I have one too, giving it to my clients that closed a while ago. It just came. They're watercolor. It's of the house. They had both of their boys while they lived in this house. And so being able to say something like, which this one does, where we built our family. Whether they keep this on their actual wall in their new house or not, they remember it. I remember giving one of these to clients at the pie party that we have at Scout every year for their closing gift. And I actually had it for them at the party. And they both just teared up immediately. They were super stoked that they had gotten something that memorable, that meaningful from their broker. So can't emphasize how important these are. They're from Etsy, right, Sarah?
They are.
Okay. You can find them on Etsy. Yeah, they're cool. I like it. Yeah.
I'd be happy to share one of my favorite closing gifts. Actually, I can show you a photo.
She's grabbing a photo off the wall.
Oh, I didn't know they come off.
Farley's going to be mad at you.
So this super cute family that I ended up helping out in Tacoma closed, and as part of the closing gift, I got giant lollipops. So all three of the kids had these giant lollipops, and they're sitting there licking. I did a whole photo shoot of them eating these giant lollipops in the front of the house. It had a really cool tree in the back, and I got one of those big swings that you hook up with the three, a disc swing. And then they were really big into vintage records. So between the whole basket of fun bubbles and candy and everything, it was just a blast, and we really had a lot of fun with the closing. So, and some great photos that they reused in their Christmas card the following year.
I love that. You did it right when, right? They're using it for the Christmas photo. Digging it.
What do you
else?
think about the delayed gift? The gift that where you've closed, you've given them the keys and a couple of bits and bobs, but then you say something else is coming. Let me know what you think when it arrives.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I think that's such a great idea. I shifted to doing that sometime this year. I know we talked about it as a brokerage. I'm pretty sure that was a Jen nugget of wisdom. I think that's great. I do think it's important to have something, not necessarily a physical gift, but whether you're there with a dance party on closing day to give them keys, that's something I've been known to do. Or whatever, shocking.
You're going to have your DJ set out there at some point?
Yeah,
She's like, welcome home!
Daisy Jukes.
You now have a mortgage!
Oh.
Ouch. I'll package it differently. But yeah, it's a great idea. But then it keeps the touches going.
Well, that's what I like about it. You get to sort of go back and visit them again and just check in with them. And there's a nice reason for that, as opposed to just how's the house? It's oh, here's this thing for your home. And so a couple of my recent closings, they've been dog people. Not hybrid humans with.
I'm glad
they
you
like
clarified.
dogs.
Dogs.
Good.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
for the
yeah.
clarification.
So,
yeah.
on the day of closing, I've given them a dog toy for the dog specifically, as well as Sarah has in her basket there. And then a few weeks later, I don't know if you can see this, I gave them these pieces of artwork by
Oh my gosh.
by a local artist.
That's amazing.
He's
so
done a lot
cute.
of murals around the city. He's a tattoo artist.
That's so cool.
And these show up, and I let them choose the frames
Okay.
because I'm not going to be their interior decorator. But the combination of the delayed gift, plus the dog gift, plus the thing relating to dogs and silly whimsical stuff, it's gone down pretty well.
I love it.
As opposed to the initial, here's your keys, here's everything, bye.
Yeah, so let's talk about anticipation just for a minute, because the concept actually came when Mercedes decided a while ago, this is years ago now, to see what would happen if when someone bought a Mercedes from the dealership, if they would give them a gift and their keys to their new car as they drove away. And they tracked sort of that for a while. And then they thought, I wonder what would happen if we gave them their keys and said, you'll be receiving a gift from us in the next couple of weeks, and then tracked that. And exponentially over the years, they saw that people would come back to their dealership to buy another car when they did it the second way as opposed to the first way. So anticipation is worth its weight in gold. So if you say, here's your house, here's your keys, we're so excited for you, here's a bottle of champagne, but I'll be dropping by in the next couple of weeks, your real gift, right, for closing, see you soon. They get to anticipate that fun thing that's coming. They don't know what it is, but it's exciting. It works for me, by the way. I mean, I'm going to tell you all the things about me right now, right? Get me a basket and tell me something's coming, and I'm excited. But it's true for all of us. So if you can, to Layla's point and Tyler's point, wait to give them a gift for later, do that. It's worth it. It also extends your time to be in touch with them. Love it. Okay, what else? Garrett, what you got for us?
Sorry for being late.
No
I don't know
worries.
if this has already been covered, but in the event you've got a new buyer with a new home in a new neighborhood, I always think it's a nice touch to maybe make your baskets a bit more locally centric. Yep. So I don't know if this has already been covered.
Okay,
I'll
keep going.
stop. But just like little bakeries or hole in the wall artsy places, gift shops, little restaurants, or even a park that's overlooked. I think that local knowledge and connection and something that maybe I enjoy about the neighborhood an awful lot tends to be pretty well received by those folks as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, I'm trying to look at our table to see what else we've missed before we move on to our second segment. I will just point out that we have at Scout our own little private reserve label for wine, and that's a fun thing to put in a basket. It's a great gift for other purposes. So come to Scout if you want the wine. That's all I'm saying there. How about that? We also have these cool kind of camping mugs. Yeah. They're ceramic, but they say Scout on them, and they're fun gifts for people. They're big enough too that, you know, if you have real coffee drinkers in your group, this is a great gift. Yeah. Shannon's one of them. Awesome. I want to just point out before we move on, the dog gifts. So not just for closing gifts, but if people have a dog, and I'm going to look right at Sarah right now, who loves Ellie, who happens to be in this room as we're recording this right now. If you know someone's a dog person, Marshall's is really lovely about the pricing for dog gifts. They're very inexpensive, but fun gifts for dogs. So do that. Okay, before we leave this space, are we ready for segment number 2?
I'm just looking at Sarah's bottle of champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to pronounce it right? Vive de Cliquet.
I don't even know how you say it.
I like to give that champagne because of the orange theme in my business.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But I had only one closing ever that I missed because I was out of town. I was in the East Coast, but the builder was meeting my clients there at like 5:15 in the afternoon to give them the new keys, which I was grateful for. But the whole time it bothered me that they're just getting these keys and that's it. Mm-hmm. And so I went ahead and I finally found a DoorDash guy that was going to be there at 5:15 to drop off the bottle of Veuve de Cliquet. And then my client, when I went back to give them their next gift, he said, you know, it was so funny. I thought that day I'm going to splash out. It's a big day for us. So I'm going to get my partner and I a bottle of nice champagne. So he put the champagne in the fridge till she was coming, and then they met the builder there. And he said, guess what? Champagne was in the fridge. It was also a Veuve de Cliquet.
Oh, nice. They got double.
So they got double.
Nice. Perfect. I love it. Lo, I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute. Any additions to the closing gifts that we haven't talked about that you've done?
I think I really lean into the basket. I personally, like yourself, love a good basket. You could put so many things in this, like a big chunky one for like blankets in your living room I always like, or laundry or whatever. But definitely lean into the basket. Also lean into my personal marketing. I have similar Scout mugs that have this funny little catchphrase that I call homeowner, just a person that builds wealth through real estate. So I put that on a mug. With my logo and things like that. So, but again, like everyone else, very personalized to the person, their dog, but always a basket. We start there.
Yeah. Let's switch over to subscriptions for a minute. Lalo started us off with that at the very beginning of this podcast, but I want to talk about the power of subscriptions for gifts. Okay. So my clients had a closing. They had kids. Maybe you all heard of the company called Literati. It's a book club for kids. Yeah, here we go. Garrett's nodding because he has kids. So it's like Stitch Fix or any of those other ones. They just come to your house. So I get a box. Ruthie gets it. It's 5 books every single time. We go through and see which books we're going to keep and want it, and then we send the rest back, and it's paid for postage. But you can buy a membership to Literati for your clients if they have kids. That's the thing that's going to come every month for a year or 6 months or 3 months, whatever you decide. And if you're Lalo, you're going to make a note in your phone to cancel it so that you're not buying a Literati subscription forever for your clients. So anybody else have done a subscription-based gift, and if so, what was it?
Jen, didn't you do one with like a meat delivery, butcher
I did,
or something
yeah.
like that too that went really well?
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was, but I remember you saying how great that was.
It was great. I did forget to turn that one off.
Did you?
Yeah. And then I was like, ooh, that's $300 more. Yeah. And you're welcome, client. Yeah. That's worth a referral.
Like, I totally meant to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good touch when I realized that I'd gone for over a year paying for these couples' wines. I said, can we get together for a coffee? Let's have a coffee date or a happy hour. And we got together at the happy hour. And that's when I broke the news to them that unfortunately their wine service was being cut off. And they were like, we were wondering about that. Because I think you said a few months, didn't you? And
Yes.
It's been like 13 months.
Oh, well, yeah. You're like, it's worth a referral. How about that? I'll keep
that's
the
what I
wine
said.
going. You send me that. There's another one called BarkBox. I know many of you have used that. Great when your clients have a new dog, new pet, whatever, and you can send them 3 months worth of fun toys. It's good times.
How about a subscription gift for a subscription client? In other words, a repeat gift for a repeat client.
Ooh, I like that.
So
that's what the note says, right?
Right. Like I've we've done a couple of deals together now. And so how about a couple of gifts on a subscription basis? And by the way, yeah, if you agree to do a deal with me next year, then let's just keep the train going.
What you want now. Pocket Hours is brought to you by Scout Real Estate. Hi, I'm Jennifer Nelson, owner at Scout Real Estate. I started this firm with the vision of doing things differently, with our focus on legendary service for our clients and creating a community of producing agents to spur each other to do higher quality work. If you are interested in learning more about how a small group of like-minded brokers have come together to have some fun while doing a lot of business, reach out to me, 206-227-7966, or email jennifer@scoutrealestate.com. I promise you this, fun is a high priority for me, but so is winning. So if you appreciate those two things, you might be interested in Scout. Looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, we're going to switch over to referral gifts now. So when someone refers you business, no matter who it is, how do you respond to that? Anybody want to start? What do you do?
You reward it.
Reward it.
You reward it.
Say more. Say more about that.
I was actually going to see if Annelize wanted to share her brilliant idea because it's super helpful at making sure you nail the gift.
Yeah, I mean, I do like to spoil somebody. I'm very, very generous with a referral, but I do normally look at a gift voucher to their favorite restaurant. So I asked the client, my new client that was referred to by them, what do you think your job's going to be to find out what is their favorite restaurant? And they seem really excited at that time, and they say, sure, I'll get back to you. So they then also know that this is what I do with referrals, and hopefully, it continues after that. So.
And just for our listeners, I want to clarify that because I think it's so powerful what she did. I don't know if it was that clear because we're all in the know as we're talking about it, but we're going to pretend that Lalo referred me to Tyler. Okay. So I'm the client. Lalo says, you've got to work with Tyler. She's great. Right. So then who's asking who what the referral should be, Annelize?
So Tyler, at that point, after you've met and you're under contract, Tyler asks you going, hey, by the way, what is Lalo's favorite restaurant? Because I'd love to send him.
So Tyler's going to ask me, the client, what they can get for Lalo, right? And what does that do? What's the message that we're hearing there? Why would we do that?
Oh, it's a huge reward,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And thoughtful.
It's really thoughtful. It's incentive for that person to continue
Yes.
finding people for you to work with because they feel so strongly about how good you are.
Mm.
It would be a disservice not to refer, you
Mhm.
know. So that's the kind of incentive we're trying to build up.
Absolutely.
Well, and that client that's been referred to you is now realizing what the reward is if they refer.
There we go. Yep.
And they get to be part of the process of that gift that's being given to them in the first place. So they kind of feel like they've taken a little credit for it too.
I like it. So we're going to talk again just for a second about reward. We want to reward the behavior of referral, no matter if it ever closes. So, right, Tyler refers someone to me. Tyler doesn't work in real estate, but she's just somebody that's worked for me before. And I want to make sure Tyler knows, hey, that was fun because look what I got. And people connect the dots on that stuff. So the more they're rewarded, even if it doesn't work out, the more they want to do it. Because look what happens when I do that, right? It's back to psychology 101. Remember the rat that pushes the bar, that gets the thing? We're literally doing that in real estate right now by rewarding the behavior. Anybody else have a referral gift that you've given away?
This is a little subjective as to the individual, but sometimes I get a good response just asking what their favorite charity is and asking what, you know,
Nice.
how can I donate to your charity of choice for being such a great person? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know?
I love that. So what is your typical amount? I know it varies, but give me an idea on the price that you're going to spend on a referral gift. First time referral, hasn't closed yet. How much are you spending?
I mean, I do a gift card for like $25 right off the bat as soon as we get introduced, whether it goes anywhere or whether there's an actual contact ever made or it goes anywhere. And just the fact you thought of me, I'm sending you a gift card. When it gets to closing, then it's something different. And then it's the more generous gift, whether it's a gift card to another place or flowers. I was going to bring up, I do a lot of flowers. Like, don't forget your lenders who send you referrals. I make sure that there is a bouquet of some kind going to their office the day of closing. So every time. And that's, again, rewarding the behavior, but really appreciating the fact that they thought of you. So that's what I do.
Yeah, and all the players that kind of make it happen, right? There's a lot of hands in the pot that get us to closing day and payday for us. And so thanking them at the very least. But I love that idea, Rebecca. I don't do that. That's a great idea. So how much do you spend? Referral gift. Give me like, you don't have to stick with it forever, but are you spending how much on referring gift?
I probably generally go for 200.
Okay.
And then if it's a friend that has referred me, and I know a lot of people don't have time, but they would love to just catch up with me, I take them for dinner as well.
Nice.
Just that's my time with them, and they appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Anybody else? Amount? Any different amounts?
That sounds about right. I mean, you're not getting away with a dinner for much less than $150, $200 if it's anywhere beyond dicks.
Right. Right. True. That's true. So many places to go with that. We'll leave that one, though. We'll just leave that one there. Okay. What about a closing gift? What about closing gifts? How much are you spending? I know Annelize is over there building barbecues. So that's, I don't know, $300-$400. Yeah.
It's pretty pricey. Yeah.
Okay. About there?
A Weber is about 500.
Okay.
Did you say Weber?
Yeah, that was cute.
Oh.
Nice.
How would you say it?
Now I say it Weber.
Now, forever it's going to be Weber, man. I love that.
it. I'll never say it anyway.
Weber. So get your clients a Weber. Just going to say that again. That's awesome. And with your time, that was worth like $1,500 right there.
No kidding.
Yeah. Closing gifts range for me. I don't know if that's true for you, depending on the person, depending on what I think would serve them most or make a contribution. I try not to make it based on the amount of the house. As tempting it as it is to say, well, this was only a $400,000 or whatever, make it more about the person, because especially here at Scout, that's where our focus is people, not like, let's make it fair based on the amount they paid to buy a house.
I've got a question. Jen, you and I did a deal with some people who were very hard to read.
The potatoes.
Well, yeah, they were like potato people. They didn't emote. It was hard to get to know them. And at the end, when we closed, you basically decided to give them options, right?
Yeah.
Rather than try and guess and get it wrong, you gave them prompts as to what they could possibly have as a closing gift. So for people who are wondering, what do I do with this client who I just don't know?
Yeah. Door number 1, door number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what they picked.
I don't remember what they picked, but what were your options for them?
Oh, I think I said door number 1 was like a gift certificate to a favorite restaurant in the area. Door number 2 was just a Amazon gift card. Can't remember door number 3.
Wayfair.
A bag of potatoes. I don't know. That's what they chose. Just kidding. Home Depot.
Home Depot
Yeah. Oh,
gift
yeah.
card.
Home Depot's always easy.
That's
Gift cards
a
are
good
always
option,
easy,
especially for someone that has some house projects coming along.
Oh, that's a great idea,
Yeah.
actually.
I've done Home Depot quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have fun little gift cards if you go into
They
the
do.
store.
Oh,
You
yeah?
know, looks like little trucks or a hammer. or
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
I've also started recently doing like, if I don't have, sometimes like, you start working with a buyer and like the first house they see, they're putting an offer on and you're like, cool, I didn't even get to know you at all. And so I have seen in the past, like sending out a little like survey monkey to be like,
Like it.
hey, again, kind of giving options about like what they want, but they get to tell you what they want. And then you can choose from that what you give them. I think that can be helpful if you're on a shorter time frame and don't have the opportunity to get to know them a little bit better.
Has
Were you gonna say
anyone
them?
given anyone anything that went wrong?
Ooh. Not that they said anything.
Yeah.
Great question. I did do a basket recently to some people, and I broke my own rule, and I met them at the house with their keys and their basket that I thought was a delightful basket, by the way, and handed it to him, and she just was like, "Oh, thanks," and set it down.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, "Come on, look at the basket! This is amazing." It didn't do anything.
Just didn't land.
She didn't they have not thanked me since. It just was something looked over. So yet another reason to wait to give it to them, because maybe I would have gotten more excitement response had I not done it when they're first in their new house and sort of overwhelmed by that experience. So yeah. Getting it wrong. Anybody else on getting it wrong?
Well, you see, I don't own a dog. I am a dog enthusiast, but I'm not well in the market of dog toys, and so I've gifted some that immediately were just carnage on the living room floor. But that's okay, as long as the dog's okay.
Yeah, you get
It's
them,
just an immediate mess in their new house. You're welcome.
you get them the wrong dog treats, and there's like explosive
Yeah.
diarrhea
Oh,
in
no.
a brand new house.
You're
Use
welcome.
Caution.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I think I'd stay away from the treats.
Yeah. Treats and lingerie. Don't.
Super weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crossed over.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've tried that one, haven't you?
Yeah, no.
Anyone else?
Moving on. Combo dog lingerie. Wow. Yeah. Different market.
I'd buy it.
All right. We're going to move on for so many reasons right now. Rebecca, in specific, I want you to talk about this one. Anyone else can chime in. But I wrote down the gift of time. And I know that you've done a couple different things with dog watching and baby caring for clients. So listeners that are on this call that are interested in doing gifts but are saying, I just started real estate. I've had one closing and that paid my mortgage for 3 months. And so I don't want to go spend $500 on a gift. What else can I do? And this is something I love that you did.
Yeah. So again, it's all about the relationships. That's why we're in this industry and why we love working with people so much is the relationship that you get out of it. So I've had a couple instances with past clients that reached out to me in a time of need. One was going through a medical situation for her husband, and they had a couple-month-old baby and a dog, and they had run out of babysitting options. And so she reached out to me, and we managed to make it work. And so I went and babysat their just barely over newborn baby, which my kids are teenagers now. It's been a while. I was a little rusty, but, I had the opportunity to help them out and they appreciated it so much. And the dog knew me, which again, you've got a newborn baby who's very protective. The dog's very protective of this child. So to be a comfort to them, knowing that they could go handle the medical situation and rely on me was an honor for me. So I appreciated that. But there's been other things, I had a client who just bought a house this last year, and I did a pop-by on him, which I think we're going to talk about later. But he shared with me that he threw out his back, and this beautiful property he just bought had leaves all over the ground. So I grabbed my son, and we went back there, and we did some raking.
Nice.
And we helped him out. So, sometimes it's the personal touches like that mean just as much as that gift card or, whatever you're putting out from your own accounts. So
I like it. That's so cool. Anybody else with the extra effort on things like that?
No.
Lalo's buying dog lingerie instead. He's gonna skip the raking. Okay.
I've helped some clients who recently moved in unpack or like help them move. I don't offer this to every client because not every client wants that.
That's true. Yeah, it's specific. It's personal.
Yeah, and also my body can't take that. But it is. I know it was really helpful to these folks.
I do think that if you show up and help someone paint their living room,
Nice.
they're going to remember that much longer than any basket you bring.
Yeah.
Quality
It's-
time.
Yeah, it's real time. It's just not everybody will accept that offer. I mean, I offer it often, but they always are like, "Oh, no," But it's that goes a long way,
It's true. Good. Okay, we're going to move on to our last segment because we just have about 10 minutes left. Pop-bys. Anybody want to take it for just a second for our listeners who don't know what we're talking about? We're not talking about Popeye with the big muscles. We're not talking about pop something, the food that comes in the microwave that, anyway, doesn't matter. That. We're not talking about that. What are we talking about? Who wants to take it? What's a Popeye?
They're just a way to get in front of your people, showing some love, a lot of seasonal things. I feel like Rebecca's really amazing at that. This year I got married, so I wanted to kind of include my people in it because it was in Italy. It wasn't a big wedding or anything like that. And all of my clients knew that I was gone and kind of going through that stage. So I wanted to include them by dropping off kind of a little memento limoncello because that's like very on theme for Italy. So I forgot what I wrote on like the little card. It was very clever, something about including them and just these cute little glass bottles of limoncello. And that was really well received. I think people like being a part of other parts of your life, not just real estate. So I'm very involved in their big milestones. So I think they like being involved in ours as well.
Love it. That's great. If you have any extras, I'll have one. That sounds delicious.
I have too many extras.
Oh, well, hey.
I will bring
Put it in a basket and I'm yours.
I don't know if they get bad.
Okay, so just back to what is a pop-by?
A pop-by is when I guess you're literally popping by someone's home. Unannounced is how we're suggested to do it, where you have maybe something in hand, like a small gift, or you're just quote unquote been in the neighborhood and you're stopping by to say hi briefly. Hey, I'm not gonna come inside. My car's running. Maybe lock your car. I don't know. That's we're not talking about that. I'm not gonna come inside, but I wanted to say hi. I was in the neighborhood. I was showing a home down the street. You guys came to mind. How's everything going? Or maybe you made them some fresh baked holiday goods, which is something that Sarah and I like to do.
Nice.
Every holiday that's coming up.
It
We
is.
got to figure out our recipes.
There you go.
But they're always a hit.
You're on it.
They are always a hit.
And it's just fun. For me, it helps me keep tabs on like at least the exterior of their home. And I can tell if like new projects have been done. I can comment on them or your neighbors, whatever. It gives you a talking point and another way to connect. And oftentimes, business will surprisingly come from that pop-by. You turn around to head back to your car and, oh, that reminds me, so-and-so in my office is looking to buy and I gave them your number or whatever.
Or will.
I
Yeah.
will, now that you have come to my door. That reminds me. Yeah, that's the whole point.
That is the point. Absolutely. I will say this, that some of you that are listening, and certainly over the years that I've taught pop-bys, will cringe immediately at the idea that someone would stop by your house unannounced. You're already like, I'm never doing that. But let me just ask you for a minute to think about what it's like if you set it up in such a way that they don't feel like you're ever going to come in. Their house isn't ready. They're not a host. They're not interested in that. they see your face on their Ring camera or whatever, and you're just holding a thing and you're waving, or you're saying, I'm not coming in, I just wanted to drop this off. All of a sudden, all of that pretense, all of that nervousness goes away. They open the door. I remember one time a client opened the door like this far. Seriously, I was like, what's going on in there? But she opened the door and just said, I have 2 new cats. And I said, I'm not coming in. I just wanted to drop this off. And to Tyler's point, by the time I was leaving, was saying, by the way, I'm going to give your name to a colleague at work. So the point of it is face-to-face time that's unannounced, so that we're not trying to plan something. We're not giving our clients another calendaring issue. Hey, can we get together when, right? All of a sudden it's a task. I get overwhelmed by the tasks of calendaring. So we're not doing that. We're doing that. I'm in the neighborhood. I'm looking at another house down the road. By the way, here's a bottle of wine. Or just hi. And what happens if they don't answer the door? What are we doing?
Take a picture with us and the pop-by gift, a little selfie, and send them a text and say, hey, I stopped by, left this on your doorstep. Have a great day.
Yeah. And how fun is that? If you get that text while you're at work or out and about, you're at the grocery store, someone stopped by your house, who does that anymore, and leaves you a present? Yes. I'm saying yes to all of those things, right? So pop-bys are really powerful. Encourage you to do it. For the last just few minutes, what are some pop-bys that you've done? I know Lo just talked about her clever one that had something clever. We'll figure that out later. What was clever about it? Rebecca's gearing up. She's got her pop-bys. I can hear it.
Away.
They're wrestling. While she's doing that, give some other ideas. What pop-bys have you done? What have you left? What are the gifts?
Girl Scout.
Oh,
Cookies.
yeah. Girl Scout cookies.
That's a hit.
That is always such a big hit. Who doesn't love Girl Scout cookies?
Yes.
There is a little bit of prep that goes into that because we have to reach out and say, hey, what kind of cookie do you want? And then they get excited. And then all of a sudden you show up with...
It's kind of like the closing gift excitement, though.
It's
You know,
true.
you
That's
plant a
true.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great hits.
That one's great because you're also supporting a local Girl Scout,
True.
which is fun. And of course, the Scout reference is fantastic.
Wait, before you go on, the what, Rebecca? The Scout reference?
The Scout reference.
It's funny.
Oh. Okay, not so much now. Okay, go.
So jumping into the dark side a little bit, because if you know me at all, I'm a big fan of Wednesday Addams. And so this last year, I did my Scout cookies, my Girl Scout cookies, but on the back of my bag, I have the little silhouette of Wednesday Addams, and it says, are they made from real Girl Scouts? So that was pretty fun and a little
creepy.
dark.
I like it.
That was my segue into my Halloween stuff. So I'm also a huge Halloween nut. You will find my house. If you've been in West Seattle, you'll find it. But I love to do a pop-by that's essentially candy, but I've mixed it up a little bit. There's some that have been boo bags. Anybody who's got kids might know boo bags, where you actually boo someone, you drop it at their front door, and then you run. And then they're supposed to hang a little sign in their window saying that they've been booed. But I actually decided to make it more fun and create a second one that they could provide to their neighbors. So it keeps the message going from neighbor to neighbor. And then my little tag at the bottom is Rebecca Ross Real Estate at the bottom.
Look at that.
So
Smart. So smart, right?
Halloween's a great one. And you can never have too much candy, and adults don't go trick-or-treating. So this is the best. Well, a lot of adults don't go trick-or-treating. So this is a great way to get their little sugar fix as well. So
I like it. We've dropped off yard waste bags from Home Depot and made a cute little saying. Can't remember what we said. Something. Keep believing. Don't stop believing. So bad.
That was it. But
Sounds right. I like it. So any of those funny, silly, kind of roll your eyes sayings are great because they remember them. What else have we done? Lavender plants one year.
Oh, lavender plants were fun.
from Home Depot.
Oh, yes, the tea ones.
Yeah, tea. I did hot chocolate version of that. That was really fun.
During COVID, we did little get better things like little honey, little tea, little cup.
Get better.
Oh, yeah, it was the little wooden whisk thing and the
Yes.
little thing of honey.
Yeah,
that was
remember?
great.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Black Friday poinsettias were like $7 in a lot of places. So I've got a car full of these I'm dropping off today.
I like it.
So it's just another great way to be festive, and they look at you every time, and they'll last longer in your house than mine.
Yeah, right. There you go. Anybody else before we finish remember any of the other like clever things we've said on the thing? Those are fun. No, we're drawing a blank there.
Oh, the dog treat.
We handmade or homemade dog
And the
treats.
succulents. My business would really suck without you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one. See? These are all fun.
Oh, and the pumpkins.
I was thinking about the
What
pumpkins.
did we say?
You know, the pumpkins. So we got all these cute little pumpkins.
It's a lot
and
of
then
effort.
Painted them and then put little
lot of crap.
Didn't we put googly eyes on them?
We did a lot.
But then they would get in the car and then roll around and
Oh,
the
yeah.
paint would come off of
yeah.
them. So then we like repainted them. It
Yeah,
was-
some were oversaturated with paint.
Yes.
That became an issue.
You know what though? Like even though some of them looked a little bit
Painted.
special,
That's my favorite.
they like people like glowed about them. They were
yeah.
so excited. They're like, "This is so cute."
Two different
I'm like,
shaped
"You're
eyeballs.
so nice."
This thing looks
Yeah.
strung out.
They're like, oh, you really tried.
Yes, it was sympathy. They were like, "Thanks."
Oh,
I'm gonna throw this away now, but thank you so much.
Good effort. Keep trying.
Yeah. It was, you know.
Your pumpkin
but
looks
again,
drunk.
But
Yeah.
again, it was face-to-face time. And I
Yes.
got to see these people, and it was great. So it was worth it. Will I do it again? Probably not.
Too much effort.
Happy fall, y'all.
That's what it was.
I love it. And I've told this story many times in the classes throughout the years that I went to the dollar store, love the dollar store, by the way, and bought what I thought were really kind of cheap looking ornaments, the best I could find at
You've
the dollar
said
store.
they were ugly many times.
Okay, ugly. Let's go ugly. Ugly and cheap. Anyway, and I drove them around because this was a year where, didn't have a lot of margin for spending a bunch of money. And I drove them around and handed them. And I can't even tell you the response that I got. This is the most beautiful ornament. I wanted to be like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But, it was. And it wasn't that it was a beautiful ornament. It was beautiful that they were getting an ornament from me. Hey, how about that? So don't worry about the price. If you're listening to this and you're like, these all cost a bunch of money and I don't have it, man, just make the effort to reward behavior that you want to repeat, to thank people, to show up even at their doorstep and say hello. Any last comments before we wrap up about gift giving this time of year?
I always like to say social media is such a helpful tool in discovering who needs a gift. I mean, obviously we know you can post a lot on social media, but pulling, quote unquote, from social media, information like who's going through a hard time, who needs a card, who needs some encouragement. Is there a mom out there, parents out there killing it that need to be reminded that they're killing it? Sarah and I have sent dog bereavement, or like when a dog has passed, there are these warmies is the name of one. I don't know, there's different companies, but you can heat up. It's a stuffed animal that looks kind of like the animal that passed, and you can heat it up in the microwave and it smells good. And it's always been really, really well received. It sounds sensitive. I mean, you can read the room, but it's every time we've sent it, it's been well received. So there's so many things that can be done. Use social media if you can.
Pull information from there. That's good.
I just wanted to remind you, it's a great reward for you to give too. It's so satisfying to see them light up when you've given it to them. So it's as much as you're trying to think of what's personal for them and what would make a great gift, it's you get something out of it yourself. So make the time for it, as busy as you get. I feel like I'm always busy, but every time I make the effort, it comes back to me manyfold. So.
Well, look at that. How about that with a wrap up? Nice job.
Bow on it.
Hey, thank you all, Scout Brokers. Appreciate you being here and part of this conversation. This was fun. I hope you had fun.
Yeah.
And I think listeners, hopefully you got some stuff out of this, and happy holidays. Thank you so much for listening into Pocket Hours. I hope this has been interesting, fun, made you laugh, made you think, spurred you on to do and implement some new things in your business. I appreciate your time and hope this has been a good use of it, period. Now, go be the agent you would hire.